Okay, so now let's talk about the derivative of inverse trigonometric functions using the chain rule. Okay, and so if I have arc sine of parentheses, the derivative of that is 1 over the square root of 1 minus the parentheses squared times the derivative of the parentheses. And so, similar idea with the derivative of arc cosine of parentheses, that's negative 1 over the square root of 1 minus the parentheses squared times the derivative of the parentheses. And then for arctangent of parentheses, the derivative of that is 1 over 1 plus parentheses squared times the derivative of the parentheses. So those are the three visualization of the chain rule that we have for inverse trigonometric functions. Okay, so that's how I visualize the chain rule for these three functions. And so now I'm just going to apply them to these two examples here. So in this first example, what I first see, okay, is a number times a function. So if I want to find the derivative of that, I need to copy my number times the derivative, times the derivative of arctan of x cubed. Okay, since I have my number 6 times arctangent of x cubed, the derivative of that function would be copy my number, copy my constant, times the derivative of my function. And so this is going to give me 6 times, and now I'm using this rule here. And so this is 1 over 1 plus the parentheses squared and then times the derivative of the parentheses. And so this gives me 6 times 1 over 1 plus x to the 6th times the derivative of x cubed, which is 3x squared. And so you can also write this as 18x squared over 1 plus x to the 6th. Okay, so all I did there is I multiplied across. So I multiplied the 6 times the 1 times the 3x squared. That gave me 18x squared. And then that's all over 1 plus x to the 6th. Okay, looking at this next one in part B, what I should see is that this is a function minus a function. And so the derivative of that is the derivative of the first minus the derivative of the second. And so this is going to be negative 1 over the square root of 1 minus e to the x squared times the derivative of e to the x. Okay, and so now to take the derivative of my second one here, so the derivative of sine inverse of 9x, that's going to be 1 over the square root of 1 minus 9x squared times the derivative of 9x. Okay, so what I'm using there is the visualization of the chain rule. Okay, and so now I need to figure out what's the derivative of e to the x, which is just itself e to the x. So I have 1 over the square root of 1 minus e to the x squared times e to the x minus, and then this is 1 over the square root of 1 minus 9x squared gives me 81x squared times 9, because the derivative of 9x is just 9. And so this gives me negative e to the x over the square root of 1 minus e to the x squared. Okay, I'm just multiplying across. And then minus 9 over the square root of 1 minus 81x squared. Okay, and then I could also square e to the x times e to the x if I wanted to, but we'll just leave it here.